All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Just fixing up my watch in terms of time. I have it 9:02. There you go. I had to change the date. All right, guys, good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for joining me today and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the G.A.R Capital YouTube network. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, click on that white logo, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to hit that like button if you do love these videos. Appreciate it as always. Let's go ahead and begin. All right, the Dow did climb up overnight, 139 points. Nasdaq up 0.28%. S&P at 4318, up 0.34%. The Russell's up 0.39%. This is after the President Biden's State of the Union address, his first one since becoming president. He did not do one last year because he got elected in 2020. 10-year Treasury notes did bounce back, 1.784%. The dollar index at 97.55. Again, that's against a basket of other currencies. Taking a look at crude oil. Crude oil continues to move higher. It was as high as 112.51, now at 110.30. Gasoline futures continue to soar as well. 3.23 a gallon, 4.7% to the upside. Remember, we are still long crude. We've been long crude since July. If you guys have been following us here on the Morning Note and YouTube, we've been long crude since July. Our target was really $100 a barrel. I moved my target just a couple months ago. Again, we have our target for XOP, which is our long on oil for Investment Club. Our alert is, if I can find it, let me see if I can find it here. The alert, I know I had two alerts. Let me see if I can cancel one. 130.56. Let me cancel this alert. So 126.21 is our first target. Then 130 will be our next. So again, I'm just waiting on that. We're bidding at 122.49. So again, looking pretty good so far. In terms of our trade, we might just take this today, take our profits, be happy, maybe take half, maybe take our initial investment, let it ride. I will let Investment Club know what we can do today. But again, we're starting to get on crude to the point of exhaustion where it's just going to get too much too soon. So don't be surprised. We may just retrace back down a little bit, maybe lose a couple dollars a barrel. OPEC just had their meeting today. They're not going to change their output for now, but that's where we are currently. So energy is still the leader of the board. Take a look at gold futures. They're down 0.42%. Silver futures down about 1% this morning. And our Forex land here, 110.95, down 28 pips for euro dollar. 115.39, up 48 pips for the dollar yen. And we could see Bitcoin futures are down about 1%, 43,755. It is rejecting that 100-day moving average here on the 1 hour on the daily chart. So again, very, very key level to break above around 45,000. That'd be the level to break out. That's what we're waiting for. And then we also have Ethereum futures hovering right at 3,000, 29.67 currently. Let's go ahead and go over some headlines together. Fed Chair Powell did speak earlier today. He will be speaking in front of the House of Representatives. Here's some of the commentary. Chair of the Federal Reserve Powell, we expect rate hike in March will be appropriate. So again, we know that's going to happen. We will begin to reduce balance sheet after the process of raising interest rates has begun. Again, inflation is still the big deal for the Fed. This is something that's still important. A lot of people did expect that we probably would not raise rates because of the Ukraine thing. One doesn't have to do with the other. Rates are going to be higher. We also had an ADP private report today. Private employment, we had February 475,000 jobs added, estimated 375,000 jobs. So again, we had a previous revision from negative 301,000 to positive 509,000. That's really, really good on the jobs front. So again, market is cheering that for right now. That's a good sign. And OPEC says may boost output faster if disruptions say price is higher, sources say. And OPEC agrees to raise oil output by 400,000 barrels per day in April. So again, you're getting at least a little bit of room from OPEC as they want to drill for more. Fed swap rate for December climbs. 5 hikes are still priced in for 2022. Keep that in mind. Mortgage rates did fall today, in comparison to last week. 3.9% on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Last Friday was 4.18. So you can still get a sub 4% mortgage on a 30-year if you, I guess, apply now. So again, big numbers in terms of the ADP. That's what really stood out. And other than that, I'm trying to see if there's anything else in terms of what's moving in the market, maybe any kind of earnings reports or anything like that. Let's see some Citibank numbers, guidance, fiscal year 2022, low single digits growth, guides Q1 total revenue mid-decline, single digits. So that's something that stands out. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers and see what's moving, what's shaking. SoFi is up about 16% pre-market. Ford said they're going to go ahead and spin off their EV unit. We posted that on Instagram. They're up 3.62% pre-market. Apple's up today. Salesforce after earnings, they're up 3.86%. Visa's down 1.42%. Boeing's up nearly 1% this morning. And on the S&P, Dollar Tree's down 0.87%. Nvidia up 0.83%. Tesla up nearly 1%. AMD up nearly 1%. And take a look at the Nasdaq. PayPal up 0.37%. I have calls. Nvidia, I also have calls as well, up 0.74%. And Lucid Group is down about 0.60% this morning. Ross Stores also had their earnings. They're up about 6% this morning. Zoom is down 0.35% after they reported earnings this week. So that's pretty much where we are in terms of the market, what I expect. I expect us to climb a little higher, possibly get around to around 43.71. Once, if we can break that, let's see. But again, Powell will be speaking today. Really good jobs number, definitely, at least on the private payroll side. The big number is on Friday with the government payroll, non-farm payroll report. So we'll keep a close eye on that. So far, so good in terms of S&P futures. I expected a bounce up. We were as high as around 43.40. Let's see if we can recapture that. I still have some SPY calls running. I should be able to catch that this morning with the team. Let's see what we get, and let's answer some questions. Good morning. Let's see, thoughts on BABA earnings. Let's see. I didn't take a look exactly in terms of BABA's earnings. I'd have to do a deeper dive on it. Let's see if I can find it. I see the SEC filing. If it was based on December 2021, revenue is up about 9.72%, but their income is down, EPS is down, margin is down, operating income is down. They're still very profitable, but again, a lot of things are down. Net change in cash, they have more cash now. Let's see if I can find the report here. So again, you had an EPS forecast. Let me see, Alibaba May 5th, 2022. So let me see if they just reported on February 23rd. Their EPS did beat. So again, it was less than last year's, but it did beat their forecast of $2.67. But their EPS year-over-year change is down about 23%. So not the best. Really, you have to take a look in terms of the broad spectrum of the company and what they can offer. Again, once China kind of gets their stuff together, kind of where COVID kind of goes away in a sense, or kind of is eradicated, maybe China's crackdown on tech or regulation could help BABA. But again, it is a long-term play. Looking at their revenues, about 37.94 billion was better than last quarter, and it was actually their best quarter in about 2 years in terms of revenues. And their earnings were right about 3.2 billion, was better than the last quarter, so Q2 2021, and excuse me, that was Q3 2021. That hasn't been added for Q4. So again, we're seeing on the right track of their earnings in terms of revenue as well. But again, at the end of the day, we just have to wait it out. And again, price dictates all. So I'm still long BABA, but it's going to be a little bit of a hold on that one. It's going to take some time. Good morning, SPY calls, please. In terms of SPY, let's go and take a look here. So I do have some SPY calls. I have the 434 calls, and I also have some 440s that I still held. So again, I expect us to tag at least 433.32, if not get to 435. The question is, do we hold above? And it's really on Powell today. So again, I would just kind of wait and see approach. Let's see if we can break 433.24. If it breaks around 425, that's your major support, then it's a short. How you play oil companies at these prices? I'm going to be selling XOP pretty soon. Again, that's kind of my oil long. I still have some oil stocks in my dividend portfolio. That's not going to be touched. XOP was more of a swing investment for Investment Club, so that's why we still have it. Now there is a gap to fill below. We may just fill that. But again, I'm still holding XOP until we get our target of right around 126.21, 130. I'm okay with taking some profits there and then kind of rotating out into some of the beaten down names. Again, kind of the high growth tech, as oil has been getting a lot more of the love, as we know. Let's see, answer my question. What were your thoughts on the State of the Union address? My thoughts were basically the same. There was some good things. There wasn't some things that, that just didn't kind of make any real sense. It was just politics speak. Something that was good to see was both sides of the aisle united at least on something. So that at least was good. You saw Republicans and Democrats both standing up on certain issues. But other than that, I mean, it's just a politician speaking, and we know what they say. You know, how do you tell if a politician's lying? Their mouth is moving. That's every side. I mean, they're going to say a lot without saying a lot, in a sense. So again, he didn't really say anything in regards to oil prices, inflation, not really much of a plan. It seemed that President Biden was a lot more confident and focused when it came to foreign policy, but when it came to domestic policy, it seems that it's still over his head. So that's something that I noticed. But in the end, I thought the State of the Union was just the State of the Union. I expected the markets to bounce after it, as everyone pretty much thought Armageddon, and people had such a low bar for the president, thinking, well, as long as he doesn't faint on stage, we're going to be fine. And he did okay. That's all you can hope. Is it anything to celebrate or anything to be excited about? Not really. We'll just have to wait and see. Good morning, boss. Thoughts on SoFi after earnings yesterday? SoFi, let's take a look at it. Again, looking at it here, resistance right around 1324. If we can break 1324, possibly some upside calls. But until then, let's see how we get in regards to the market. Again, we had as high as 1381 earlier in the pre-market session, or after-market session, excuse me. But then it came back down. So right around 1340 should be good for a break to possibly play the 14 calls for next week if so. But I would wait. Definitely wait and see if there's volume. What are your expectations for Nasdaq going towards CPI and FOMC in March? I think it's already priced in. I think if we get a 25 basis hike, that would be something the market can cheer, because it's going to be a gradual rate hike, not a shock to the system. So I think a 25 basis hike is prudent, kind of a wait and see approach, and go month after month after that. And I think the market will definitely absorb that better than a 50 rate shock right to the face and just do 50, 50, 50, 50 the whole time. If not, we're going to get to 20. We're going to be right near December 28 again. That kind of movement. Did you already start buying stocks? I buy stocks every week, SpyG, but anything in terms of anything new, no, I have not. I'm still waiting to see. Again, we're still not out of the clear yet. I'm okay with missing the bottom by a couple of points, but I'd rather confirm to the upside, and we're not there yet. We're definitely not there yet. So again, we can get us back down to around 4220. We can get back to 4100. Definitely could happen. It's a lot of moving parts out there, a lot of moving parts. So I'm not rushing to buy the dip just yet. What's going on with Russian bank? Do you think it's a buy? I don't think anything Russian is worth a buy as of right now. I mean, if you are, you're definitely hoping for the best in the future. And I don't think I'm that qualified to speak on Russian politics or the Russian economy as it is crumbling. I wouldn't want to risk my capital on that. Have I discussed Palantir on the stream yet? No. I mean, if you ask me, sure. I still own Palantir. What are your thoughts on calls for AMD? AMD needs to break above 118.49 for us to make any kind of move there. Then I would take a look at the 120s. AMD has been pretty consistent for us. We've been trading that for a little bit. How heavy would you invest in growth names if you're looking to buy and hold for 30 years? Oh, man, if you're looking to buy for 30 years, as long as you have some cash in your savings account, emergency fund, I'd buy as much as you can. Pick the stocks that you like. And again, if you're willing to hold for 30 years, go for it. And the price today is really not going to matter, because more than likely you're going to be at a higher price in 30 years. The only thing is going to be worth watching for is, you know, which one grows the most and which one survives. Not every tech stock out there is going to survive, especially with higher interest rate environment. I'm not saying it's going to be massive bankruptcies, but some of them will be merged and acquired. Is the rate hike announcement today? No, it's not. Today is no rate hike announcement. It's just a testimony in front of the House. I believe it's the House Banking Committee or the House Financial Services Committee. That's it. The House of Representatives, Powell will be speaking, and then he speaks tomorrow in the Senate Banking Committee. They'll ask him questions. He'll be testifying under oath. What is the upside confirmation for S&P 500? 4480. Really around 4,500 is your confirmation. I would probably say 4450 would be my confirmation to the upside. 4,500 to be really confirmed. 4,500, the worst is over. The question is, do we get there? That's really the question. Again, you can kind of see an inverse head and shoulders. If that's the case, we should have a little more upside. So we'll go ahead and leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Again, guys, so many other moving parts. It's not just Russia and Ukraine. Obviously, the people of Ukraine are in our thoughts and prayers as always. But again, we still have to look at inflation. We still have to look at the Fed rate hikes. We still have to look at valuations. We still have to look at earnings. And we had great jobs reports. So in terms of ADP, let's see if we can get that momentum to the upside. I expect us to get around 43.50, possibly 43.71, tap that and kind of hold that range. Really, guys, we've been stuck in a range now between 43.71 and 42.52. That's really all we've been. We'll go and leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Keep an eye on oil. Keep an eye on the banks. because yields are coming back up, so we are bouncing. So again, this is why I said if you held any kind of financial shorts or puts yesterday, you need to get out of them same day, because they just do flip the next day. I don't know why that is. That's something that I have noticed. So just kind of keep that in mind. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll catch you guys later today for the aftermarket recap. Cheers.